Hi, my name is Prakhar. I am a student of English literature, and in this course we've been talking about several literary genres. In this lesson, the genre we're going to talk about is the one I think everybody has practiced once in their life. I'm talking about essays. Let us look at this mandatory question from every English paper as a genre of literature.
Ninth lesson in the course literary genre is about the genre essay. Let us start by understanding the meaning of the term essay. The definition of essay states it to be a short composition in prose that undertakes to discuss a matter, express a point of view in any subject, or simply entertain. So, in even more simple words, essay is a short piece of writing on any particular subject or topic. That's it, short and simple. Essays are important in literature because they act as a concise way of expressing a point of view or of talking about a subject matter, or for the writer to write a piece of writing that is just simply entertaining. The word essay comes from the Old French word essayer, which in turn comes from the late Latin word exegium, meaning weighing, which in turn comes from the late Latin word exigere, meaning assertion and weigh. The word essay, its formal meaning is test of the quality, and this meaning has been there since the 15th century, but it is also used in a literary sense where we use it to describe a piece of writing on a particular subject, a short piece of writing. This is what the etymology of the word essay looks like. Essay may be written to serve any of these three purposes. First is that it is for the discussion of a matter. So the talk of any particular subject or discussion of a matter forms the main theme of an essay. Second purpose is that it is written by the writer to express his or her point of view on that particular matter. And it can thirdly be simply for entertainment, as I mentioned in the definition of essay. Like almost every genre, the genre essay also developed in the Greek and the Roman times. The Greek Theophrastus and Plutarch and the Roman Cicero and Seneca wrote essays much before the genre developed. The French essayist Montaigne is known as the father of essays, and he inspired an English essayist Francis Bacon, who adopted his style and started writing essays in a similar manner. This was in 16th century, and this marks the beginning of the genre essay in England. Francis is known as the father of English prose, and he has written essays like of friendship, of travel. His essays were usually a bit didactic in nature, and he used them as a tool to give out his pearls of wisdom. After Francis, the important name that comes when we are talking about English essays is Alexander Pope, who was a 17th century writer, and his works were mainly in verse form. Verse form essays are a bit rare because mainly they're written in prose forms. Important works by Alexander Pope are Essay on Man, Essay on Criticism. In 18th century, periodical culture came to England. Periodical culture is sort of a magazine culture, and the important names are Spectator by Richard Steele and Joseph Addison Statler. In these periodicals, they would publish their essays, and important names from 19th century are William Hazlitt, Charles Lamb, and R.L. Stevenson. In describing essays, Richard Sheridan has said that never say more than is necessary. And this forms the most important characteristic of an essay because essays are supposed to be short and concise. If you're talking about the characteristics of the essay, first come is that the thesis of the essay should be well developed and communicated. If a writer decides to talk about a particular matter, if a writer decides to give his or her point of view on a particular matter or subject, then it should be in a very well communicated form. So whatever the writer is trying to put out there, whatever the writer is trying to offer, should be well developed and should be written in a sophisticated style. Essay falls under the category of a good essay when there is independence of thought, when the thoughts expressed in the essay by the writer are authentic to the writer. Proper use of grammar is also very important, and the fifth important thing is that there should be a clarity of the message in the essay. Again, it comes to the fact that essays are supposed to be concise, so there should be no beating around the bush. The style should be pretty simple and lucid so that the person who's reading the essay is able to grasp the message quickly. Depending on the style, there are two kinds of essays: formal essays and informal essays. Talk about formal essays first. Formal essays are relatively impersonal, which means they talk about public issues and they talk about the general subjects rather than being about the personal experiences of the writer. Second thing is they are written with authority. If the writer is taking a take on any of the social issues, then it has to be written with authority. Then the writer has to stick to the point he agrees with the most. Again, as I said in the last slide, it cannot be beating around the bush. Formal essays are written in a very orderly way and they're also called articles sometimes. Examples of formal essays can be found in scholarly journals. Informal essays, on the other hand, have a tone of intimacy. They lean more towards the subject matters which are about everyday things than being about public affairs, because if there is to be a tone of intimacy, if the subject matter is to be taken from the personal experiences of the writer, then it has to be about the general everyday things. Since informal essays have a tone of intimacy and have a personal touch, they're written in a relaxed, self-revelatory fashion. By self-revelatory, we mean a fashion that tells about the writer, a fashion that gives things away about the personal lives and experiences of the writer. On your screen, you have two examples. One is of formal essay, another is of informal essay. Informal essay, the example that is taken is that of Unity in a Religion by Bacon. In this essay, Bacon says that religion is the chief band of human society. It's the very important factor which forms our social order, which forms our belief. So it should be dealt with unity. Even though we have different religions, there should be a sense of unity. And these are the first lines of the essay, and they sort of justify and they sort of summarize the whole essay. This essay has been written in an orderly fashion, and since it's about a very general topic, then it comes under the category of a formal essay. Here another example is Dream Children, a Reverie by Charles Lamb. It's a form of an informal essay because in this essay, Lamb talks about the children he could have had with the lover he did not get to be with. The essay plays out as Charles Lamb talks about the fact that children love to listen to stories, and in this essay he's telling the stories of his grandmother to his imaginary children. And these are the first lines of the essay, and they suffice what I've just talked about. Since it's about a personal wish of the writer, since it gives us the insight of the personal life of a writer, this essay is an informal essay. And that's it. We're done with essays. What are we going to do next? In the next lesson, we're going to talk about drama. And I hope this helped. Thank you for taking this lesson. Please continue on with the course. We are left with only 3 lessons. Thank you.